Buenas, ladies, gents, and NBs. Welcome to or back to the channel. My name's Sky, and I finally get to yap about Xenoblade on this channel! Since like 2024. In case you didn't know, next to Kingdom Hearts, Xenoblade is my favorite media franchise and biggest special interest / hyperfixation. These games have been just as influential on me both as a creative and as a person, as well as influencing my taste in media. And I am so happy to be able to talk more about this franchise today, because I rarely yap about this with other people in comparison to Kingdom Hearts. And what a time to yap about it, because we got Xenoblade 4! Like with the KH4 trailer, I did not expect a new Xenoblade game to get announced during the Direct. I thought it was going to be saved for September, but no, they revealed it in a June Direct. And we have a lot to talk about. Though, I do need to put up a disclaimer in saying that while I will be mentioning details from 1 to 3 and Base Game X, I won't be talking about Chapter 13 from X Definitive Edition, or most of Xenogears or Xenosaga beyond what little I know about those games, cause I haven't played any of them yet. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's begin analyzing the reveal trailer for Xenoblade Genesis. Alright, so let's begin analyzing the trailer. Can I just say, starting off, the environments into this game look fucking gorgeous. Like, oh my god, it is insane how good these environments look. Like, I gotta say, like, this might have some of the best looking environments of the entire series. I have to say, like, wow, absolutely gorgeous. I'm curious what this port town is gonna be like. And like, is this like an arena or something? It just looks like a bit of a... This kind of looks like a crystal, shooting out of the sea. I wonder what that's about. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous environments. Anyway, let's read dialogue. Anima was the source of all things. So anima is actually the Latin word for life force, and there actually is an opposite word called animus too, which I believe means also similar to, like, it's also like mind, soul is what I'm thinking about. Like, I'll put the descriptions up on screen, but yeah, they're basically meant to be like opposites of each other in terms of like life forces. Well, what I understand, I'm familiar with the concepts, I'm just not describing them well off the top of my head and remembering them super well. But another thing to know is that anima is also associated with, as the unconscious feminine side of a man, which I don't think is like going to be reflected within the game here. Again, I think it's just going to be focused on the life force thing. But it is something to keep in mind. I think there could be some double meanings because of this anima concept. So it seems like this world is born from the foundation of this life force called anima, as the dialogue over the course of this trailer presents. And another thing to note, though, I have learned recently that anima is a concept that exists in past Xeno games. Specifically, Xenosaga is the example I've seen. I do not know how it's utilized, because again, I have not played those games, I have not watched any playthroughs whatsoever, I have very limited knowledge on those games, because, you know, I'm trying to avoid spoilers for the Xenosaga games, because I want to go into them as blind as I can. But I am curious, like, how anima is used in past Xeno games. I'm sure people, like, who have already experienced those games would definitely be more knowledgeable on the subject than I am, and can probably describe the concept better. Actually, if you are familiar with Xenosaga, in a spoiler-free way, how is anima used in those games, and also Xenogears, if it's utilized in Xenogears. But again, spoiler-free if possible. Okay. Look at these environments again. I know, this is like... These environments are, like, crazy. So the world of this, which is called, actually, let's go ahead and pull this up. I actually do have a description that Monolith Soft's Xenoblade Twitter account posted, but this is actually translated from the unofficial translated version of the account, and it takes place in the vast world of Anshar, a land warmed by 6 suns. Even if you've never played a Xenoblade game before, you can start with Xenoblade Genesis. Please look forward to future updates. So, the world is called Anshar, and I haven't... Hold up, let me... You can't see it right now, but I am actually looking up the word, Anshar. Okay, it's a Mesopotamian god... I messed that up. And it's... specifically, what is the god of? It is the god of... Oh, okay, it... this is not... I'm sorry, I'm trying to look up the... Standing... Okay, it seems to be... He seems to be a sky god in Mesopotamian mythology. Which is interesting. Okay, I might have to do some, more research on that. Okay, yeah, he was one of the gods of the sky. That's interesting. Interesting. It's kind of interesting because, given, like, the landscape of the world, like, it being ruled by 6 suns, like, with the world reaching far into the sky, like, as we can see with the inversions stuff, like, okay, I'll have to, like, I might have to start putting the pieces together. I might have to do a little bit of research on that, but that was kind of that is interesting, because, you know, everything in Xenoblade is named for a reason. So, I don't think they just called it that for any, random reason. But anyway, there's also, some Japanese, writing here, some Japanese text here, that is translated, again, by this account here, and it reads, Anshar, a world with 6 suns. The world is crowded by different nations. The conflicts between the countries are endless, yet the people live on relentlessly. Water, fire, and wind, the foundation of the world, are a manifestation of anima, the source of the world. Those who can manipulate and wield anima are called Vesali. In a world of conflict, they stand at the center of combat. Those attempting to become the strongest Vesali gather at Lukos Academy. A girl named Eleanor enrolls, and is granted an anima crystone, which amplifies a Vesali's power. During her life at the Academy, she encounters a number of people and a number of destinies. What is the true reason for Eleanor's coming to the Academy? So we know the name of the protagonist. It is the blue-haired girl who is prominent in this trailer. Her name is Eleanor. So we got, like, a little bit more information on the story because of that. I love the name too, Eleanor. And I'm really... I like seeing that our main protagonist is a female character this time around. That's really cool. I mean, we've had, like, female protagonists, like, before, but they were not, like, the sole protagonist. They were always, like, a protagonist or shared the spotlight with another character. But here, like, she seems to be the sole protagonist, which is awesome. But yeah, look at this environment. It is absolutely insane. The inverted landscapes, it's just absolutely incredible. Like, it's so stunning. It reminds me a lot of the spaceship from the end of Interstellar. Like, that's what kind of was reminding me of with that inverted gravity. Like, I wonder how this world was formed. Like, could it be like inside the spaceship? Could it be the new world that was born at the end of Future Redeemed? I'm sure that Chapter 13 probably could have also given some hints as to what this world's like, but I have not played through Chapter 13. I do not know really anything about it, except for like one shot that was not in the marketing, because most of what I know from Chapter 13 comes from the marketing, pre-release stuff. So I can't really give any good bits of info in regards to what's going on here and how Chapter 13 could have tied into this. But anyway, this might be some of the best environments I've seen in the series yet. Like, absolutely incredible. Like, this is definitely gonna push the hardware limitations of the Switch 2 for sure. Anyway, there goes water. Oh, and another thing, I've also seen people compare this to a structure from Xenogears. I don't know like the exact purpose of the structure. I think it was meant to like create a form of life, I recall. But again, no expert on Xenogears yet. Want to though? Still want to play it as blindly as I can. So that explains why I hardly know anything about the game. Okay, so the narrator of this continues to go that continues to talk about anima, how it appears as water, fire. Look at this interior too, it's absolutely cozy. Wind. Oh, again, stunning environment. I wonder what the deal with these arches are like. Like, they certainly seem like remnants of like a past civilization or something. I'm trying to remember if there's a location. It kind of reminds me of Oblivion, of those giant rings in Oblivion. But, obviously this location does not look like Oblivion. Like, it's not as deserty as that location. But I'm not saying it is Oblivion. But it's really stunning. Absolutely stunning view. And again, looking at like the environments like going upward through the inverted gravity, I wonder how exploration is going to work in this game then. Like, can we actually go like traverse freely throughout all these landscapes, like as is where I have to worry about loading screens or something? That would be kind of insane if we could do that. Is that technologically possible? To have like an open world with inverted gravity? I'm just curious to see if that's actually a thing here. Needless to say, we're going to get some stunning vistas in this. Every force that gave shape to this world. I love this town too. Like the windmills, it was really close to see. I'm not exactly sure what real world inspiration just could be taken from. Kind of reminds me of like bazaars from Middle Eastern countries. That's the vibe I'm getting. Or maybe like something else. That's like the first example off the top of my head. I'm sure there's more accurate examples of what this could be. It kind of reminds me of the architecture of Prince Eric's castle from The Little Mermaid, which I believe was Italian. Yeah, it's Italian inspired. Maybe this is inspiration from that. Who knows? I'm definitely not the right person to talk about like real world architecture influences. So don't take what I said as like definitive fact. Okay, every force that gave shape to this world. Oh, hang on. I want to go back and look at that other environment here. Look, another stunning environment, like the waterfalls here, and that's incredible. Also, this is a good opportunity for me to mention that I thought that these two were neopons. They're not, which has me thinking about like, okay, are like humans and the beings with the long elf ears the only living beings, like the only races in this world? I mean, I see a couple of hang on, people here, but I think it might just be armor and not like actual. But it doesn't look like they're wearing too much armor. So like, I'm not sure what's like. Maybe as we watch the trailer more, like there might be some more like notable like other races we could see, but it's so interesting because Xenoblade is known for having a variety of different like races in its worlds. So the fact that we've only seen a couple here has me curious, like, why aren't we seeing any other races, like, in this world? That points to that thing from Xenogears I mentioned before about how, like, there was, like, this, something like the long-geared characters were, like, created, out of, like, a sentient life creator or something. I found, someone I follow, like, made a tweet about that. I posted, like, show it, on screen, right now. Yeah, I'm just, like, absolutely, I'm so curious what that's about. Also, apologies if I'm very rambling here. I am doing this off the cuff. So if I sound a bit, like, rambling or awkward or whatever, it's because I'm not doing the scripted. Or just doing it off the cuff. Or just... You know, I'm just gonna continue. Okay. Okay, every force that... Hang on, let me start over. Every force that gave shape to this world was a manifestation of anima, the anima that flows through the land. Okay. I also am curious what the origin of anima in this world's like, because if you know Xenoblade, you know that whenever a specific concept that's like at the core of that game's world is introduced, there's always an origin point for it. So what is the origin of the anima of this world? Where did the anima come from? That I'm curious about. And also, we got the 6 suns. Well, you can only see 5 right here, but apparently this world is has 6 suns in it. Which are probably not suns. I mean, remember, like, the world tree was not actually a tree in Xenoblade 2. So these are probably not going to be suns. But whatever they are, they are definitely very important, very prominent. I'm very curious what they are, what to deal with them, these. There could be like, excuse me, I'm just taking a sip of coffee. Filming this in the morning. They could be, artificial suns. You know, if this is a spaceship. It could be like a form of like artificial lighting, artificial suns. That could be it. But again, who knows? And look at this. And now we have a good glimpse of like the fantasy elements, because I think we all took notice that this is the most fantasy looking Xenoblade game we've gotten yet. Which is a very different direction than what past Xenoblade games have gone in. Not to say that we haven't gotten similar aesthetics. Like, you know, Xenoblade 1, it's especially the least sci-fi of, like, the original trilogy. But, you know, it still was very, like, steampunk-esque, I guess is a good way of putting it. But this year is very fantasy-leaning. Which is a very interesting direction to go in. I'm curious, like, how come like this is the setting of the world then? Like, it does help differentiate this game from past games for sure, and I think starting this new storyline, this new saga with a very different aesthetic is kind of smart. But I'm just so curious what the origin is. Like, why is the world like this? Like, why is it so different from other Xenoblade worlds? Like, I'm not, like, why are we not seeing any explicit sci-fi stuff already? I mean, it's Xenoblade, we're gonna get sci-fi stuff eventually. But yeah, I am just so curious, like, I am ready to learn the origins of this world, is all I'm saying. And when battles were waged... Yeah, and we got, like, all this medieval armor here. Yeah, I'm living for the fantasy aesthetic, though. Absolutely. They were decided by anima, and those who could wield its power, warriors, known as Vesselai. Okay, I'm going to do another Google search and see what, if there's a word for that. Okay, there doesn't seem to be a word for it, yet? But I kind of like just putting the word vessel doesn't give me really anything, but there might be a word out there that this word originated from. I mean, it seems like a play on a no, vessel has like an A in it, so I don't think it's a play on vessel, unless it is. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like there is like I feel like there is a word that Vesselite probably originates from in like another language. If anyone has any knowledge of it, please sound off in the comments. But anyway, Vesselite apparently seem to be the ones who can wield anima. So kind of like how the Jedi are chosen by how strong they are with the Force. That's kind of vibe that's kind of what this reminded me of, just going up the dialogue. Which is interesting. I wonder, like, again, I have to wonder though, why does the anima, decide who becomes a Vesselite? Because I find out a bit sus. I find out very sus that there's this force within a world within the Xenoblade franchise that can decide what people can wield its power. I'm kind of curious, like, could it be like, this actually ties into something I'll mention later down the line, but I wonder if this is like a new take on blades and drivers, with the anima being the blade and the Vesselite being the driver. I wonder if that's what's going on here. There's a little bit of evidence that supports that, that we'll get to later on in this trailer. But yeah, I'm very fascinated by the concept of a Vesselite, and there seems to be a lot more going on with Vesselite in this game as the trailer goes on, and we get to this piece of dialogue. And yeah, they clearly wield some great power here, as we're seeing with this girl, like, creating this giant fireball. Something crazy, and I wonder how it's going to play into the combat system, too. Like how anima is like, I feel like anima is going to be like a major part of the combat system in this game, and I do have a idea on what that could be like. It's like, oh wow, how she managed to like block that? It's kind of impressive. That's like really impressive. And this is our first full glimpse at Eleanor, our protagonist. She's so cute, she's pretty. I love the like red tips, the red highlights in her hair. Like, that is really like such a cute detail. I love it so much. I uphold its blade's honor, I swear it. And this is a good time to mention that the character designers for this game are from, have done a couple of character designs for Xenoblade 3, and as pointed out by this treat here, they are Miss Mai Oneyama and Palau, and they did Masha and Aino, respectively, from Xenoblade 3. And I love both of those characters a lot, and I love their design, so I'm very excited to see the characters in Genesis because of that. And the fact that they're collaborating together to create the character designs and art style for Genesis, really cool, really awesome. And all the models and designs that we're seeing here, the general style of the game, already looks fantastic. So those two are clearly doing a great job already with this. And look at this environment too. I'm just awe by this environment. So we got a first look at the Officers Academy. Not the Officers Academy, I know, but come on, it is so Three Houses like. It is very Three Houses-like. So this is Lukos, and I just looked it up. Lukos is Greek for white or bright, and apparently is the apparently oh no, I will look at the wrong word there. But it is a Greek word, at the very least. So that's interesting. Not surprised that there is a little bit of a Greek influence here too. But I love this mountain over here too. Kind of reminds me of the Matterhorn from Disneyland. One of my favorite rides there, by the way. So this is where she's going to be training at. And I think now's a good time for me to mention, this is clearly inspired by Utena. Even more so than past Xenoblade games. Like, and I'll explain why I think past Xenoblade games were influenced by Utena in a bit. But yeah, like from this, I mean, the girl herself looks very Utena coded. She reminds me a lot of Utena, even down like to the outfit, to the pink hair. You know, her holding a sword. And she's working at like a academy with other like students. And, you know, sword play is a big part of this academy. And there seems to be a lot more going on behind the scenes and everything. Like, there's like... We have this character here. And even the sword here reminds me a lot of Utena's of, you know, the sword of the Rose Bride. I forgot the name of it. But yeah, you know, the sword that comes out of Anthe. So that's like really cool. And I am not surprised. I know that I can tell that Tetsuya Takahashi is a Utena fan. And I say that because this isn't a first Xenoblade game that took heavy influence from Utena. Because Xenoblade 2 also did the same thing. Like you have like Numa with the Core Crystal that when Rex touched it, he gained the power to wield to become the driver of the Aegis and the sword of the Aegis. You got like the World Tree being this like looming structure that's at the center of like conflict between a couple of factions, being Tona, you know, Rex's party. Like, I think the concepts of like blades in general are like, and then being like influenced by the driver. I also think it's like a parallel to like Anthe and the concept of the Rose Bride. Like, yeah, I feel like there's like that Tetsuya Takahashi is a huge Utena fan, and we've seen that a little bit in past games, and we're also going to seemingly going to get more Utena influences in this game, which has me very excited because I love that anime so much. Okay, back to the dialogue here. This stone is called an Enema Crystone. So this seems to be another big new element of the lore in this game. And I think... Okay, it not only amplifies... Okay, I'm pausing here. It not only amplifies a Vesselized powers, but also records the Sparrow's thoughts and actions. This is a core crystal. This is a core crystal. Core crystals do the exact same thing. When a driver resonates with a core crystal, you know, it connects to its driver's mind and it records, you know, everything. And, you know, the blade from the core crystals can also have changes to their physical appearance through their driver, like we saw with Laura and Hayes in Torna. And I'm not the first person to point this out, but this looks just like the true Aegis sword, Numa's sword, from Xenoblade 2. It looks very similar to it, so... I am just so curious what the origin of this is. Like, is it actually connected to to one of the Aegises? Like, is it actually a core crystal? Like, I know it passed, like, the original trilogy. So I don't know how much of that, those games' lore is going to be implemented. I'm not saying that this is taking place in an entirely different canon. But I don't know. I feel like core crystals are going to be relevant again. I mean, I kind of think they were already relevant in Xenoblade 3, to be honest. I think there was like a bit of an equivalent there with Ouroboros and all. Goes to show that for all the Xenoblade 2 haters out there, it is the most relevant game in the entire series. It's always been. It was relevant in 2. I don't know if it was relevant in Chapter 13 of X Definitive Edition, and it's clearly relevant here. So, suck it. Which I'm happy for, because, you know, Xenoblade 2 is my favorite Xenoblade game, one of my favorite games of all time, so I am not complaining. I am so curious just to know what's the deal with the Cryststones. And again, they were a manifestation, of anima. So again, what's the deal with anima? What is the deal with this anima thing? I'm finding it a bit sus. Look at these, again, very Officers Academy-like, which, I should clarify, I have not actually played Three Houses. I want to, though. I really want to. That's definitely one of the Switch games I want to play the most. Every aspect of your life at Lucos, academic or otherwise, will be intertwined with that stone. I love the interiors of Locos. Oh, and we got a look at us traversing the world with our party members. And we got like 2 of them, both of which will appear later in the game. I wonder how many party members are going to be. Is it just going to be 3? We've seen have only gotten like 3, and like we've seen like just 3 party members in later shots, so that could be it. You know, going back to like Xenoblade 1 and 2, since you could have only had 3 party members in those games. Like, oh, again, look at these environments! Like, my... Excuse me, like, wow. Wow. I cannot wait to explore this world. Look at the texture of the grass, too. The grass is absolutely stunning. But, you know, if there's one thing you count on for the Xenoblade series, is that they can do some pretty damn good grass. Today's exercise was simulate actual combat. Okay, so we get a lot of the class members. Yeah, we have only gotten a mix of, like, humans and the, people with the long ears. Again, like, why are there only 2 races here? Why? Like, what's the deal with the people with the long ears? Are they just humans who happen to have long ears? Are they something else? I'm so curious. And we see, like, a few, of our core, party members here. Like, this girl, this guy, this other guy, this guy too, and this girl over here, Eleanor. Like, we all see these characters later down the line. I'm trying to see if any of the other characters appear in this shot. I'm not seeing any other party members that we see later on in the trailer. Yeah, again, these models and designs look so good. I am a huge fan of them. I love this guy. Oh yeah, this guy has red hair. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. I'm a sucker for characters with red hair. Also, this guy over here looks really cool. Like, he has like a big like cool design. I love the coat in the back. I love his hair. And especially intrigued by this girl over here. I love the highlights on her bangs here, by the way. This guy also seems to be wielding a giant gun in the back. So guns exist here. Also, look at these creatures. These are adorable. These are absolutely adorable. So yeah, again, we're only seeing like 3 party members here. So that might be the limit. in this game. Oh, yeah, look at the environments. I love that we can ride mounts on this game. In this game, that's like really cool. Like I'm so excited to I wonder if there could be like customization on them, or we can have like, or there'd be different types of these mounts, like in Breath of the Wild, another Monolith Soft game, technically. But I love how like fast it can go here too, as well. Like motion blur here, really cool. Okay, this is one of the this seems to be one of our party members, since we saw her traveling with Eleanor and that other guy. I'm trying to get a good... Yeah, okay, so we got a good glimpse of her face. Oh, yeah, we're gonna see her, later down the line. Yeah, she's a girl who, seemingly performs that ritual at the end of the trailer. This ornament she's got in her hair, it kind of reminds me of, like, I believe it's a kind of ornament that you see, from Japan? So there could be like a Japanese-inspired nation in this world, maybe? I mean, we've only seen like a few locations in this world of in Anshar. So it's possible that could be a Japanese-inspired nation here. And it looks like Eleanor is coming in to save her. And she's apparently so powerful that she sliced that rock in two. Girl, how powerful are you? Okay, let's actually go back. I think I'm finally starting to get a handle on my powers. So she, you know, also Veseli probably struggled with her anima powers. I'm getting at. Killing it is part of a Veseli's job, you know. This line has me intrigued for what this line that this guy says. Like, is killing? Like, either killing is just something that comes with being a Veseli in this world. You know, as like, as like a job or something. Or Veseli have to kill in order to stay alive themselves. Which, that concept is very Xenoblade, for one. And that would be very intriguing if that's true. But it could, again, it could also mean, just like, you know, the people in this world use, like, desire to Veselize powers to fight, to kill. So it could also mean both. Who knows? But again, this dialogue has me very intrigued and really want to understand like the full purpose of the Veselize in this game. This guy looks, and he seems to be seem to summon this giant claw, and this makes me wonder just what is the main gimmick of this game going to be like. Like, every Xenoblade game has a gimmick within its combat, you know. 1 had visions, X had the scales, 2 had blades, and 3 had Ouroboros. So my guess is that anima is going to be a big gimmick within this game, and it kind of makes me wonder, will your party members get into these enhanced states where they can use a different set of abilities? Could that be going on? Like, maybe like a different version of Ouroboros, except it's not like 2 party members fusing into 1. That could be what's going on here. That's my guess. Like, when this guy goes into an enhanced state, he can use his special anima powers to summon giant claws. Maybe that's what's going on here. Maybe that's like gonna be the main gimmick of the game. I mean, we can only guess so much based off one trailer, because like Xenoblade 3 didn't reveal its gimmick until the second trailer. Like, yeah, Ouroboros was not in the reveal trailer for Xenoblade 3. That was revealed in the second trailer. So maybe we haven't actually seen a main gimmick yet. But this is like my best guess, just that this like is gonna be like the main gimmick of the game. I have to wait and see. I wonder how the victims feel about it. Again. As always, we're going to have some deep conversations about life and death in this game, which I'm not here for. That's some of the stuff that got me interested in Xenoblade in the first place. And, you know, these games got me interested in concepts and discussions like that. And again, like, makes me wonder, just like, if killing is, like, necessary for Vesli to do, like, is there something for them to live, like, how do victims feel about that? Like, or, like, people who aren't Vesli, like, how do non-Vesli people in this world feel about Vesli? How powerful and dangerous they can be. And, you know, them being killers. I'm very intrigued by the whole Vesli concept of this game already. I really want to see more. Okay. Okay, yeah. It's that other girl from before, yeah. Oh, maybe, wait a minute, hold up. I want to go back here. Okay, I think the voice probably belongs to Eleanor and not her, now that I think about it. Also, love the music in this trailer too. Not surprised, Xenoblade music always slaps. Like the piano and drums in the background, just so cool. Okay, so here's the girl we saw before. Let's find the truth together. What is she sending up? Like, what is she sending up here? She's also an archer. Okay, I'm seeing a pattern on this thing, but is this like her own Vesli her powers? Like her anima enhanced state she's taking on? Is this part of that? Is this something she summoned, like that guy summoned the claws? Maybe that's what's going on? Maybe, like, again, like each character has their own special enhanced state that allows them to do something different from other Vesli. So is that what's going on with this girl here? And she seems to be sending it off somewhere. Okay, this is really cool. One, this environment's absolutely stunning over here. Like, absolutely gorgeous. Oh, there seems to be a factory down here. Maybe it's a factory? I'm not entirely sure. It looks factory-esque. This environment is absolutely stunning. Are you kidding me? Like, this giant, like, structure here. I'm not sure if it's a mountain or if it's an actual, like an actual, like, man-made structure or something. But, like, it is within a crater, though. So, maybe it's something that landed within this crater? If it is a crater, anyway. And then we have that redhead character from before. He apparently has a dragon! Dragons exist here! Again, going on with the fantasy stuff. Only the dragon's purifying flame can redeem a soul that has forsaken its faith. Is that taken literally? Like, people who abandon religion in this world, the only way to redeem them is to kill them via dragons? Is that what he's referring to? That would be pretty dark. Like, dark, I should say. He also has a different outfit here in comparison to his academy outfit. So, and, you know, we see other characters wear different outfits too, so making the three houses comparisons again, there could be like a post-academy stuff here too. Maybe. So yeah, what's the deal with the dragons in this world? Like, can we actually ride on one in gameplay? summon one in gameplay, like, that would be crazy! That would be kind of insane. Like, are dragons like the scale equivalents of this game? Now that would be a fun gimmick. So yeah, now I'm curious, like, what's like the purpose of dragons within this world's lore? Like, what kind of religions does Anshar have? Like, and like how is society structured around them? Like, I'm very curious about that. So yeah, I'm very intrigued by this character a lot. Like, oh, again, another gorgeous shot of these environments. I'm seeing this weird structure here. What's that, I wonder? And we got these giant towers here. They seem to be very important landmarks. I wonder if we'll be able to visit them. Again, if we actually can, like, traverse freely to these locations, that would be insane. And, ooh, I just wonder, like, hang on, I wonder where the dragon was coming from. Like, okay, it doesn't seem like it was descending from the inverted portions of this world. But, you know, could you imagine, like, seeing a dragon, like, just, fly, like, from, like, one part of this world, like, downward, and then, like, over here, like, that would be kind of cool. See, that'd be a stunning visual. I'll show you where you belong, you backwatered noble. So this seems like a rival character for Eleanor, who wields dual fire blades. So fire seems to be a part of her Veseli powers. Interesting. So I wonder what the deal is with this girl. She seems to not be a big fan of Eleanor. And like, she's calling her noble, so Eleanor must come from a prestigious family then. This girl might also be from another prestigious family, so maybe she views Eleanor as like lesser than her then. For some reason. Maybe their families have history? Who knows? She also does have you know, the long ears, too. Like Eleanor. She's tougher than you think. Doesn't need a crystone to use her powers. So that gives a little bit of insight into Eleanor. And, like, what's going on with her. So she seems to be very unique among Veseli. So, like, she has some innate power within her that allows her to use her anima powers without needing a crystone. Which is a very intriguing idea. Like, and also a bit sus on that. It is one thing Xenoblade has established, is that just because you have chosen one traits, does not mean that being a chosen one is a good thing for you. Shulk learned that the hard way. So, I'm not been worried for Eleanor. Like, she can possibly have these kind of special chosen one-esque traits for no reason. But I'm not surprised though. Just one thing these games love doing is deconstructing story structures and narrative tropes. So this seems like it'll also deconstruct, like, maybe like the special chosen one-esque story. Who knows? Or maybe like it's about like her family. She mentions her family later down the line. Maybe her family overall can use their powers without needing a crystone or Christone. Don't know really exactly how to pronounce it in English. I'm sure we'll learn once we hear the English dub of it. So again, this guy looks really cool. I love the coat. I'm a sucker for characters who wear coats, jackets on their backs like that. Like, that is just such a cool look to me. So I'm very curious to see like how the dynamic between her and Eleanor is gonna develop with all these details. Also, look at her hair. The way the strands are like done on her hair, like incredible detail, like the depth here, like different forms of shadows and lighting. Like, it's so dynamic, it's so detailed. I'm absolutely here for it. Also, she has very pretty eyes. Love the eyes. And yeah, we see a little bit more of the anima powers. And she definitely looks like she's in an enhanced state. So also, what is this creature here? Like, it kind of reminds me of Ouroboros. I don't think it's Ouroboros, but it's reminiscent in design. But I do wonder what is the deal with this kind of creature. Like, maybe it's like a creature manifestation of anima? We live and die in the harmony of anima. Again, like, this world and people within it very intertwined with this very sus anima concept. Look at this character too. They look gorgeous. Like, I love the hair pieces, the earpieces. Like, already one of my favorite designs of the game. Can't wait to see like the full design of this character. I love the eyes too, and the lips, the black on it, and look, the little bit of the makeup here. Like, that is like absolutely stunning design. Like, what a queen. Very intrigued by this character. Like, they seem to be very, very important. And look at the little diamonds on like the bangs here too. Really cool. Okay, and we have this character. Oh, I'm seeing the same ornaments here that was on that other girl. I wonder if they're from the same nation. I mean, and also I am noticing like there are like these patterns here, and the overall, again, either it's like Japan or like another country from East Asia, but it definitely isn't like Western fantasy like what we've seen early on. Now, this device is interesting too. It seems to be creating this projection of the sky, too. Very, very curious about this whole, the nation that, these guys and that girl are from. Because they're clearly from a different nation than, the other characters we've seen. Oh, hang on, that was this guy here. Look at this guy, he's very cool. He seems to be he looks like an antagonist, definitely. Wonder what his like role is. He kind of reminds me of Pantalone a little bit from Genshin. Pantalone if he did not sleep well. And look, he has another like headpiece here. Very intrigued about what this character is gonna be like. I'm going back to where I belong. I wonder who's saying that and what they're talking about. And we got this character here. Yeah, Eleanor mentions a brother. Could this be her? Or maybe this is like another person at Lucos, maybe? Not entirely sure. Maybe this character appeared earlier. Has this character appeared earlier on? Okay, no. Okay, so yeah, very interested in seeing who this guy is, and what this creature is. Hold up, what is this creature? He kind of reminds me of Shifu from Kung Fu Panda a little bit. Like, is this like creature gonna be like Nopon replacement? Oh, please do not replace the Nopon. The Nopon are iconic Xenoblade creatures. I would hate to see the no Nopon in this. No Nopon, haha. But yeah, very, very, very curious to learn more about this creature here. It might be also from that same East Asian inspired nation that we've been getting glimpses of. Oh, and here's this person here too. Whoa, they have a really cool outfit. They seem to be wearing a mask too and fighting Eleanor. Oh yeah, I love like the silver and like the red. Again, also a spot from we might be getting that same nation. Like, yeah, that same... They look like it's from that same nation. And here we got... someone who reminds me of Van Damme. It could be Van Damme, who knows? I mean, every Xenoblade has one. So I wouldn't be surprised, like, I'm not saying this definitively that this is, Van Damme, but, he looks very reminiscent, so I'm saying, but he seems to be very, like, he seems to be like an enemy character in this, moment. And we got, what seems to be Eleanor being cradled by this guy here. And he seems to be going to this enhanced state from being angry. Like, what? Was Eleanor attacked? Something? I'm curious. This guy definitely seems to care a lot about Eleanor. Kind of makes me wonder, like, is he, like, gonna be, like, the love interest for Eleanor in this game? I mean, every Xenoblade has, except for X, has, like, a romance at the core of his story. You know? Xenoblade 1 has Shoken Fiora. Xenoblade 3 had Nora and Mio, one of my personal favorite romances of all time, by the way. And Xenoblade 2 had Rex, Pyra, Mithra, and Nia. Changed my mind. So, you know, this could... So, he could be, he and Eleanor could be a thing in this game. And we see this character again. Yeah, and, she's wearing a different outfits than her Academy one. And yeah, there's that same staff that NPC was wielding, before. And she seems to be performing some sort of ritual next to this fire. Like, is she, like, harnessing the power of anima to perform a ritual? Like, what's going on here? And we got this guy here. Love the eyes too and the eyebrows. Yeah, and just like all the characters flashing by, I think these are all going to be our party members that we're going to play as. Which... Now the time is upon us. Time upon us to do what? Yeah, really excited to learn more about all of these characters. I'm very intrigued by each and every one of them already. I love all their designs too. Again, the character designers cooked with this game. Okay, and this ritual seems to involve the, 6 suns. Like, like, is she sending, like, this light, this anima, up to those 6 suns? If that's what's going on. Also, I'm curious, what is the limit of this inverted world? Like, how far up does this world go? Like, there's gotta be, if there's 6 suns floating above them, there's gotta be a limit to the world. Like, there's gotta be an edge. I'm curious, like, what is that edge? And we got this flower here. I wanna say it's, I know I recognize that flower. Somewhere. I do not know what it is. You know, if I find something, I'll put it on screen. But, you know, they're showing this flower for a reason. And it seems to be, you know, it's not fully blossomed yet. There could be symbolism tied to that. Maybe you could compare, because the shot after this is Eleanor, so maybe just, like, referring to, like, Eleanor and her power, like, powers or something. I mean, there's clearly emphasis on this shot for a reason. Well, brother. Wish me luck. The way she's saying that too, I wonder, sounds like this brother passed away. So something happened in the past with the brothers, well, I'm guessing. And she's maybe like carrying on his legacy or something? Like clearly like the relationship between her and her brothers could be very important to her as a character and this story. Very, very intrigued by that. Okay, we got another look at the 6 suns here, and one is clearly bigger than the other. So, like, why is that? Like, why do we have like one big sun and 5 smaller suns here. Again, very curious what to learn about these 6 suns here. But I think this is like the main sun, and like these are like, you know, additional suns to it. I don't know what the deal with these 6 suns is, but I'm very intrigued. I mean, they clearly, like, Tatooine's probably taking notes right now because it only has 2 suns. It's like Tatooine looked at both planets and went like, oh yeah, we could have more than 1 sun, we have 2, and then, Ansha here, went, hold my beer. This land is warmed by the light of 6 suns. Okay, look at this environment. Okay, another reason why I think these 2 are going to be very important, they're going to have a very important dynamic, could be particularly love interest, is that, you know, they're riding together on these mounts, in this shot here. So, clearly, like, these 2 are going to have a lot of scenes together. Probably one of my favorite shots here, like, giving a good glimpse at the inverted gravity of this world. The scale of it is huge, like, absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And it is here where mankind would learn that the vengeance of a fallen god has yet to be fulfilled. What is this narrator referring to? Okay, what is this fallen god? What kind of vengeance are they seeking? Like, are there multiple gods in this world? I mean, this dialogue clearly implies that. Or maybe this fallen god is just the one god of this world. I'm very, very intrigued to learn more. And I'm sure there's gonna be like a big identity reveal with this fallen god. I mean, there was with the Architect in Xenoblade 2, one of my favorite plot reveals in all of media, by the way. I was completely shook by that, by the class reveal. So I'm very intrigued by who this fallen god is and what their motivation is, and how that's going to impact the story of this game. Very, very intrigued. I don't have any good guesses on who it could be. It could be a character that appeared in a past Xenoblade game, or even Xenosaga. Who knows? Like, what, is this fallen god gonna be Dimitri? One of the few characters I know from Xenosaga, by the way, and only because of the radio from Future Redeemed. And all I know about Dimitri is that he is the Klaus equivalent of Xenosaga. Well, the Xenosaga equivalent of Klaus, I should say. Which makes me very curious just what that character does in those games to be called, like, the Klaus of Xenosaga. Do not spoil what it is. Again, I want to go into those games as bland as I can. So very, very curious to learn more about that. And look at the environments. We've seen the environment from before with those arches. So they seem to be very big, to span, like, a good chunk of land here. Like, that is a stunning look at that land. And then we got logo appearing, but there's also a little bit of intriguing environments here. Like this little bit up here that looks kind of like like poles and like it kind of has a bit of an artificial Mechonis look to it. And we got this lava area here with another tower. There's a lot of towers in this game apparently. Kind of reminds me of Coldros a bit. Crack Theory, this is another version of Mira. I swear, if the X Definitive Edition, Chapter 13, actually makes that theory more plausible, I'm going to laugh. Don't tell me if it is or isn't. Please, I want to go into that as blind as I can. Okay, now we have the logo appearing. I'm very intrigued by the look of the logo. And hang on, I'm going to write a bit more. Xenoblade Genesis. And I love the logo too. And what's really interesting is that each Xenoblade logo has a different aesthetic to it that ties into the lore a bit. Like with Xenoblade 1, I'm pretty sure the painterly aesthetic of it is meant to represent the characters of the Monado's arts. I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I know 2's like, you know, it has the flames that's meant to represent Pyra. And 3 had the particles meant to represent the light orbs that come out of the corpses in that game. So I'm curious what this glass mirror aesthetic is meant to represent within the within Genesis. That I'm very curious about. And speaking of Genesis, yeah, no Chronicles this time. It's just Genesis. Now, when you saw my trailer reaction, I did think that it being called Xenoblade Genesis meant that this was going to be like the origin for the series. I don't think it is, and for one reason. The description says, Xenoblade Genesis, a new beginning for the series. And Koizumi also said that within the direct. So this might be the first game in the next trilogy of Xenoblade, and Genesis is meant to be the signifier of this new trilogy of games. So it's no Chronicles. No Chronicles this time. Well, for us Westerners anyway, there was never Chronicles within the Japanese titles of these games. It was just Xenoblade. So Genesis is just an addition to the title of the Japanese name. So yeah, I'm very excited to see just what this new beginning of the series entails for us. Like this genesis of a new trilogy for Xenoblade. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to play this game, you guys. Like, I still cannot believe that a new Xenoblade game and a second Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer dropped in the same presentation. That is insane to me. You know, as someone who has both of them as their biggest hyperfixations, the biggest special interest, the favorite media franchises, it's kind of surreal. Like, I cannot believe that happened. It is absolutely wild to me. If you told me that, like, a year ago, I would have thought you were crazy. And yet, here we are. I'm absolutely blown away. I'm still, like, it's still a bit surreal to me that, it's happening. And though we don't have a release window for Kingdom Hearts 4 just yet, there was some Australian retailers who leaked the 2027 release window, and that's kind of where I'm leaning at personally. And that's true. Getting a new Xenoblade game and a new Kingdom Hearts game in the same year, both mainline, that would be wild to me. That'd be absolutely wild to me. So yeah, I am incredibly hyped. This is currently my most anticipated game of next year, easily. For now, until, you know, again, if Kingdom Hearts 4 gets announced, it will be tied with it. It's not going to top it, it will just be tied with it. Because again, they're my two biggest special interests. None is going to be higher than the other, or lower than the other. Incredibly excited for this. I'm excited to see what this new direction the series is going to be like. I'm excited to see, just get all the answers to these questions I have about the game in regards to its lore and its characters and its story. How is this going to tie into past Xenoblade games? This is definitely going to give me more incentive to play X Definitive Edition soon. Which, you know, I did say in my channel update video, I would go and stream that. After I finish Zenless Zone 0 Season 2, though. I do want to get that out of the way first. You know, so I can, you know, get see what Chapter 13 is like, and see how that could tie into this. Hopefully I'll be able to do that before, surely I'll be able to do that before Genesis comes out. Surely. So yeah, that was a great trailer. I am incredibly hyped. So hyped for this game. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about this trailer right now. And that's the end of the video. I am incredibly happy that I get to yap about Xeno on this channel, and now with Genesis being announced and me planning on streaming his X soon, I hope to make more videos on this franchise I adore with all my heart, because I really want to share my love for these games with you guys. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Please like and share the video if you enjoyed it. You can support me on my Patreon and Ko-fi, and follow me on my socials, which will be linked in the description below. Subscribe and ring the bell icon so you won't miss any of my future videos, or check out my past videos if you wanna. Please take care of yourselves, and keep on keeping on.